It's the alternate skill now. Or, I mean, like, it's in the place of the alternate skill. Jolly Monday, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you for the generous support. Appreciate it a lot. Being in the alternate slot, I consider it the alternate, especially because it's also not the better one anymore. Like, it's the worst one and it's in the alternate slot. It's the alternate. What are the drop rates on the tome? What is it, 4%? I think it's 4%. I could be making that up, though. But it might be plus 4% per stack as well. Well, kind of wasted my time over here. But maybe Tome will be nice to me. Oh, I have to get Siren's Call and try that thing. That's right, that's right. Ooh, movement speed right away. I like that. I'm gonna spend a little more time on this level now. See you, Jolly Monday. Thanks again. Have a good one. Alright, yeah, I can get both of these and then leave. Oh, there's a third one. Not useful. I'll be able to get that 50 chest after the teleporter. Unless I end up with 50 before I activate it, but that seems pretty unlikely. Okay. Alright, let's do it. Oh, it's even in zone, dude. I'm so lucky sometimes. Oh, I got the item. Neat. Another tome. Interesting. Yo, Crush Bears. Just playing some video game. How's it going? I mean, if anyone can make use of the Genesis loop, nice. Like, intentionally and in a controlled fashion. I am that character right now. 2 tomes early in the game might be real good now. Since I'm thinking that they did manage to make it more important to not take your time as much, this could end up getting me a lot more loot. We'll see. Alt secondary, what do you mean? The one that I'm not using? The second skill that I'm not using? I would imagine it's still better. I used it for a run. I didn't get too far that run, but... I was just telling someone that, Crush Bears. Everyone wants to argue over the semantics of which secondary is primary now. And there's no winning. There is no victory. I would definitely say that the game is now harder on Monsoon. Part of that probably has to do with adding a level to the standard loop. So the timer, the difficulty is scaled more by the time you loop. But it does feel like it's a little harder before even getting to the 5th level. So you might want to try and take a little less time. I don't think it's hugely important, but that depends on how good your run is. Ah, there we go. That's a Rex item right there. Or is it? Well, that's a Rex item. Hello, I need this. Flat damage reduction. Ugh. Flat damage reduction is such a ridiculous thing to add for certain purposes. Yeah, what I've started doing as of the last couple days is just skipping some of the more time-consuming, less rewarding areas of maps. I'm just not looting them now. Since yesterday, I've been trying that a little bit. Like on this map, I'll skip the back corner over there, unless I know the teleporter's there or I spawn right there. Just an example. I might skip part of the water knowing that the teleporter's not in it. If more enemies were spawning, I would be feeling way better than I am right now. But I am gonna get that used item. That was definitely worth it. Tome is a nice item right now. Alright, so I'll make a loop around this, and then I will go to the teleporter. So starting in around 10 minutes, it's 2-3 minutes faster than I was doing before. Kind of want to go over there and get that item, but I won't. I might drop down here if there's a tier 2 chest right there. That's definitely an option. Good item for me as well. I shouldn't have picked that up. Tome, I'm starting to really value leaving a tome drop like right next to you at the teleporter so that you can take some money into the next level with just decent timing. Like, in the age of now actually caring a little bit about the timer, potentially, haven't determined yet. Maybe I've just been really unlucky. But the ability to be really unlucky is kind of new because no matter what, I was pretty much winning every run before. So, you know, for there to be that difference means that perhaps I should change my strategy, basically. That's why I'm trying it out. But anyway, in this age where I am trying to save a little bit of time here and there, having a tome drop that I can access right after the teleporter saves me time on the next level. It's pretty good. Oh, beautiful. Guess I'll take this too. So out of there in 12 minutes. Better than starting the teleporter 12 minutes. So basically I've saved 2 minutes. I think the overall goal is finish the 5th level by 40 minutes. So whatever kind of distribution you want to make of that is up to you. But that seems like a decent goal to me. Yeah, we were just talking about that. It seems like the timer matters slightly now, not like amazingly, but like at least a little bit. So I'm just experimenting with ways to save time, to lose the minimum amount of stuff and still come out ahead. No, I don't value the time chest at all. I've only ever like made time chest for the unlock. That's a good time to use my active item. Yeah, game seems a little harder now, so trying to mix it up. See if it becomes easier in various ways. If I make various changes. Oh, I should get that. I didn't notice in my first run, because my first run I got like real carried. Did a 3-hour engineer run. But the game definitely feels harder. Like, just generally speaking. That's kind of not the teleporter location I wanted, but that's fine. Definitely movement speed here. I place no value in having a backup mag with the default, with the old default second skill. Cooldown's short enough that it just doesn't matter. To me. Ah, tome. Need need that. Beautiful. Not gonna grab the Lunar? Nah. Saving up my Lunar coins again. I've wasted like 50 since this update came out. Also, they're less reliable now. Like, I've been seeing the items in the Lunar pool that I want a lot less frequently as they keep adding to it. For what, though? For when I wanna? What unlocks have I got left? None. I have them all. Mag Warren, that's fine. No, it's not time for multitudes yet because I still feel like the game is providing me with challenge. What is there? Ah. Like before I was using multitudes because I was never gonna die otherwise. Basically. But now I'm dying like every run. I've obliterated like 3 times. You'd see artifacts right here if any were active. I might be losing it. You know, I'm not gonna say that that's not it. That might be it. If only those two were right next to each other. No, I don't particularly like artifacts. I liked unlocking them. Like, I liked the finding of the codes and doing challenges, but I don't actually like the gameplay style that most artifacts promote. I will probably use Dissonance sometimes. Wow, I'm here so early. Right, it's under 20 minutes. There was another one or two that were like decent. I wouldn't mind Sacrifice a lot of the time. Swarm could be fun. That's kind of like it. Soul might be fun too, actually. So that's like pretty much my list of artifacts that I might be interested in. Command if I have something that's like I want to try this build specifically. The doppelganger one, that seems like BS. Like, after all the time I spent with the first game, no fall damage is cool. Like, I used artifacts plenty. Not as much as a lot of people, of course, because I found that I wasn't particularly into them. I left Origin on all the time because that purely added difficulty without being like stupid or anything. It was a little abusable if you happen to have a stopwatch. But that was also a little more fun in that game since playing to the timer was necessary and normal. I don't actually really like playing to the timer in this game. I think it's less fun than just doing your thing, taking as long as you want. Origin spawned the special Imp Overlord every 10 minutes. So it was like the Doppelganger one in this game, but it was an Imp Overlord. I definitely agree. Multitudes is only harder at the start. But I don't think that like the comparable set of like I don't know if Swarm is actually harder. I think Swarm might be easier. As an example. Nice. Swarm and Soul. A little longer kill time. It's because you have to kill the very weak Wisp as well. But like I'm not sure what's comparable basically to increasing the difficulty, but for the entire run. But yeah, my impression is that Swarm is straight up easier just because even if there are twice as many, the fact that you can kill one of them really fast comparative to normal gives you so much more control over what kind of fight you're having. Yeah, giving enemies items is like, I'm never gonna use that. That's stupid. Like, such a huge amount of the things that they can get are so ridiculously unfair when enemies have them compared to when you, the player, have them, that it's just not fun. It's not worth even taking a chance on it. It's a stupid idea, in my opinion. I don't think that enemies ever get boss items. That would be ridiculous. If they could get the Genesis loop, that would be terrible. All enemies have Genesis loop. You're in the teleporter zone? No. You're not allowed to be there. That's what that means. Double enemies with no half health would probably be pretty darn hard. I guess I'll take this. I wanted all of those. Like, I think that would be impossible for like half the characters most of the time. Unless you got really, really lucky with items. I think that would be like too hard. Unless you were playing with glass. But I don't really want to play with glass. Mostly because glass is now like this uncounterable thing. Though apparently people were saying that maybe Transcendence gives you one-shot protection back. And normally I'm that guy who's like, yeah, but who cares about one-shot protection? But when you have 10 health, it like actually really matters. I think Genesis loop still goes like and kills things if you're dead. So I would assume it would for enemies. If it does for you, it does for enemies, I would say. But I'm only pretty sure that it does for you. It does not for you, then it wouldn't for enemies. Is how I would interpret the situation. Well, I mean, yeah, 10 health, one-shot protection is very abusable, but, like, that's kind of why I don't play that way. Like, why I don't do the stack glass stuff. I don't play that meta. But like one thing about glass is like, okay, yeah, in the first game, Infusion hard countered glass. That was dumb. Great, they fixed it. But I think that it would have been fixed just with Infusion being limited to however much, 100 per infusion. Whereas now, because of the way they use the same system as glass before, like as shaped glass, you get 1 health for every 10 kills. There's like, okay, so you stack repulsion armor plates, and that's your build for glass artifact. Let's see, that's 5, so 3,200. I probably get enough from a teleport. So I just don't really want to play with glass. Because again, it's like reductive gameplay. So I don't want my challenge to come at the cost of reductive gameplay, basically. That's where I'm at. I'm probably gonna need to farm. Yeah, you just get one shot all the time. So you have to, like, it's build changing. Some characters you don't want to use some skills, and you just want to play completely differently and safely and stuff. Just to play around glass, because, I mean, enemies have a really easy time one-shotting you already, even with one-shot protection on. Should definitely be enough money already. Especially when I grab this one. But I felt that glass got boring in the first game for, like, completely the opposite reason, because it was so easy to counter. I just don't think that they struck the medium. I do like the reroll. I think that's a pretty sweet item. I like that one. I like pretty much all the items they added this update. Yeah, okay. Does the armor reduce my self-damage? Probably. Like, I assumed so. Oh, I didn't get Siren's Call. I have to loop again if I survive. But often I've just been dying when I get to the 3rd level in loop. So it's like I can get to the level... I can get to the level right before obliterating, and then I die in the teleporter event. That's the, like, frequent occurrence now. Okay, I want this to come slightly closer to this, and I want to see if this, like, works. Okay, alright. So that's probably doable on the alloy warship unit, because you can do it through the pillar. Like, you can hit the other side of the pillar, it pulls it through, or attempts to pull it through. And then it dies. Whereas with this, because I was only pulling it to the pillar, not through the pillar, it lives. I think I understand the idea. Yes, I found all of the, I found all of them. If you want, do you want hints or do you want answers? I don't think I'd be very good at hints. Just as a fair warning on that matter. Okay, do you know? No, that's too obvious. That's pretty much an answer if I use that one. I'm trying to come up with a way to hint at Scorched Acres. Or honestly, even... Okay, well, I would consider it a hint to say that the one on Siren's Call is partial. It is not an entire code. How about on Scorched Acres, it's not a tablet? That's a hint. It's not a tablet. I feel slow. That's something going on over there. No longer is something going on over there, I guess. Wow. Oh, I don't have any fireworks. That's pretty unfortunate, actually. More obscure than a moment hole. But a moment hole really got me. That one was funny. I hated it, but it was funny. I died trying to get a screenshot of it. When then chat just, you know, took a clip and then gave me a screenshot, which I could have killed it, but instead I died. Yeah, I looked around the entire map. And then they're just like, what if it's on the boss? And I was like, there's no way it's on the boss. And I looked at the boss. Well, there it is. Hey, there's fireworks. Nice. All right, I don't have fall damage. I forgot. Whoa, buddies. The ones that took me longest to find... Well, the one that took me longest to find was Titanic Plains. Siren's Call, I was just looking in all the wrong spots. So that one took me a long time as well. The last three I found were Distant Roost because the level wouldn't spawn. I found that one immediately. It was right where I thought it would be. So it was mostly Titanic Plains. I just couldn't come up with that one, no matter what. Siren's Call is a lot more obvious than you think it is. That's another hint for you. Should probably just leave those. Rally Point Delta was exactly where I expected it to be. Like, if it hadn't been there, I would have been disappointed. You didn't check because you couldn't get there before the update? See, I assumed that as soon as there was something that could be hidden, it would be hidden there. So when I saw, like, oh yeah, this update, there's hidden stuff now. There's secrets that we have to find. Obviously, I'm gonna look there. That was my thought process. That was the literal first place that came to mind. Like, they probably made this accessible this time. But, you know, that was just the way I thought about it. Oh, that didn't hit me? I can't believe it. The one that I never would have found without being told was the environment log one. Like, I just never would have ever looked for that. Ah, that's two right next to each other. Perfect. I probably would have come up with the menu, but not the environment log. A Moment Fractured would have taken me a little bit because I would have assumed that it would be on one of the Easter egg islands. So I would have gone to those first and looked around, and when I didn't see it, I'd be like, I must be missing something, and I would have spent a while being like, I don't get it, and then I would have gone and I would have run around that, and I'd be like, wow, I feel dumb. Yeah, normal distant roost and alternate Titanic planes are where those are. That's correct. No, I really enjoyed searching for them and everything. I liked that a lot. I thought that was like really good. Probably like the best thing they've added. The best unlock scheme they've added. Without a doubt. Leave me alone. I don't want to deal with you. I would have found the Gilded Coast one pretty quickly, except that there were a bunch of enemies there, so I was waiting until they either walked away or I cleared more of them out, because my run wasn't super strong, I think. So it only took me as long as it did because I had to wait, basically. I was pretty upset about Titanic planes. Nope. Not dealing with them. Right, there will probably be 2 more artifacts, like for an alternate fit stage and for the final level. What would I hope? I don't really know, honestly. This ain't good. This is good. Got one down. Bunch of dudes there. That I don't like. I'd like to throw that off the edge. What I really don't know is, like, I would like an artifact that changes gameplay but is not reductive. Doesn't make it BS hard, but doesn't make it free. Like, that's a hard window to design something in, I think. Which is why I think that, generally speaking, they missed the mark on that, but their goal wasn't that. That's only my goal, right? So I don't know what I would want as an artifact. Like, I don't think it would be fitting to just have an artifact that is, bosses can drop red items, but they can also drop white items, you know, like bringing back the way teleporters were in the first game. Like, I don't think that that would be worth being an artifact. But I want to know how that kind of gameplay would impact this game, because, like, we don't have that in this game. So I'm very curious how different it would feel if we got white items and sometimes red items from bosses sometimes. Yeah, of course I'll keep playing. Since I've unlocked everything, I'll keep playing until I'm, like, bored of the gameplay again. Unlocking everything was, of course, a priority at first because, well, you know, gotta be caught up and stuff. But having everything unlocked isn't all it takes for me to be tired of playing the game. Of course, I'll be going back to Isaac soon. Like, tomorrow's Borderlands rather than this or Isaac, but wow, this thing has a long cooldown, I guess. Like, Thursday I might play Isaac. If not, I'll play Isaac on Friday probably. But, like, I'll keep mixing this game in. Because now there's just new stuff to experience. An artifact where you can't see what items you have? I mean, I already basically play like that. I don't know what items I have most runs. Because I've done so many runs at this point that I just kind of don't keep track or remember most of the time. I'm always like, oh, don't I have this item? No, that was, you know, last run, yesterday, a week ago. Like, I'm currently thinking of a run with the same character that I did, like, a week ago or something sometimes, you know? So for me, that wouldn't really matter. Making teleporters like the first game, where you had to kill everything instead of just charging it and killing the boss. That could be interesting. I would want to try the game. Like, I would want to try this game in that style. I think that'd be a decent choice. I'd definitely be down for that one. Faster leveling, but no items? I don't know if I don't know. Because, like, the problem with that is you never get a movement speed up. Half the characters have such bad base movement speed that would be miserable. I was a recommended channel. Hello. Good to see you. I'm thinking of Acrid, and also, honestly, Rex. Acrid and Rex have, like, ugh, their base movement speed pains me, especially Acrid. Acrid just can't function with base movement speed for very long. Because Acrid literally can't dodge, like, a bunch of enemies' attacks just because the character's hitbox is too wide, and the character is too slow to get it out of the way. The characters don't feel like they all have the same movement speed, but even if they do, hitbox size and like shape and stuff matter. You know? So even if Commando is the same speed as Acrid, Commando doesn't get hit by golem lasers no matter what. You can dodge them, as one example. Right, and then you've got Mercenary, who has, like, depending on your build, your skill loadout, you've got 2 movement skills. You've got so much mobility. Then you have Rex, whose movement skill, I mean, you could use your utility for movement, but, like, it's really awkward, and I don't like it at all for that purpose. As an example. Right? I have all the artifacts. So I'm going to try to keep this one looping for a little bit. But as I said, this is the level where I die every time, pretty much. Like, nowadays, I just die here. I don't know what it is about the 3rd level on the loop when I have the opportunity to obliterate, but that's just it. Just don't die? Oh, yeah, okay. Ah, dang, that didn't do any impact. I was really hoping that that would be, like, strong enough to still do a ton of wall damage, like impact damage to the Malachite Wisp. But no. Okay, here I definitely get the kill. No, my Dio is still available. I have not, in fact, died. If it has the red outline, it's not used. You can tell pretty easily, knowing that. Yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of the artifacts in general, is like they are reductive to gameplay. I have 3 of those. Now I have 3 of these too. That's not what I should have bought. But I didn't actually look before buying. I just bought something. No, I would never vote for Chef. I'm a Chef hater. But I also am not joining the Discord to vote. We want to deal with this. Okay, wait for that. Perfect. Sniper would work so easily and perfectly in this game. What are you talking about? Sniper would be like the lowest effort translation from 2D to 3D. It could do practically nothing and the character would be insanely fun. Chef, on the other hand, would have to be a completely new character in order to work in 3D. Like, you can pretty much save nothing about the character from the first game and have it work in 3D. Oh, I'm dead. See, there, like, it's... I'm not dead. But I probably should be. Do you think it's worth playing the first game? If you want to, it's a really good game. It's very hard and very different from this game. But, like, it's still a good game. There's some methods of breaking it and stuff that I think are worth experiencing. And, like, the completely different feel of a strong run. No run is safe in that game. Oh, I might be dead. I'm not dead. I just want the item, okay? First game's a little more BS, though. And, I mean, this game's got a lot of BS now. So that's saying something. Like, the elite types in the first game are like, ugh. They are just some nasty garbage. Not even just like, I mean, yeah, the rocket elites are terrible, but the elites that heal all the enemies near them, that's so much worse. If your run isn't going really great and you run into one of them, alright, well, let's make an attempt. This is not a good teleporter location. Sniper was so hard in the first game. Why? Why is this my life? Alright, here. I'm gonna play this. Actually, I do like okay damage to them. Dang, one escaped. Actually, no, I have to play this like in a very safe manner. So here's my play. My play is farm up to 99 if possible, without even worrying about them. Hopefully they can't hit me through the floor with them like malachite balls. If they can, well, it's a learning experience. Hello, you're dead. Okay, thank you. Camera does not like this. I don't like this for the camera. I don't know what the... I assume there is no cap on level, but it's like so hard to level past 40 something. Like getting to 50 takes a very long time, for example. Every level starts to take a really, really long time. I wouldn't really compare anything to the unfinished like versions of characters that are in the code already, because they're unfinished. Like, they're missing way too much stuff. What's the longest run I had? It doesn't really matter to me. Long runs are easy in my opinion. Like, once you get past the first or second loop, you can go as long as you want. It's not about... It's about patience rather than about, like, anything else. So I don't really care about that. I get bored at, like, 3 hours, if not way before that. So I think artifacts would be balanced further. Yeah, maybe a little. Probably not, though. I don't think that there will be any major changes, just slight changes. Yeah, they did mention that they decided they didn't want to, like, balance them around normal runs or anything. They're just supposed to be their own thing. So I think that the only changes will be small. No, I haven't played multiplayer in like a year in this game at this point. No, not a literal year, but like, I don't know, 9 months. So. Alright, I just want you guys to come over here. Well, I mean, if you don't want to experience not worrying about difficulty or anything by, you know, farming with an infinite timer with sacrifice, don't do it, right? If people want to play that way, whatever. You know, that's how they want to enjoy the game. That's really their thing, right? If you would say that that cheapens the experience, it does for you, but it might not for them. Anyway, I just wanted to do that. I probably could have killed them faster by actually attacking them and stuff, but that was safe and funny. So I said that would be the way I did it. Sacrifice makes it so that loot chests don't spawn, but enemies will randomly drop items of random rarities. Oh, I didn't go for a thing. Whatever, it doesn't really matter anymore. Timer's not too important at this point. Ah, here we are. Okay, so now I just have to attempt the instant kill, because I just want to see it. I haven't, like, done it. And I have an idea how to do it. So. They did mention in their dev thoughts that they have to, like, affirm and reaffirm that the sacrifice drop rates are working. It does seem like it takes you a long time to get items with sacrifice, and that might be intentional, but they might plan to buff it, basically. And yeah, Swarm, like, the extra enemies don't have, like, loot drop. They don't drop money, for example. Oh, that missed? Dang it, dude. All right, well, I'm about to have some potential problems. Can I push you? I think I can push you. Yeah, I pushed them. All right, that's good. Are you gonna come closer to the thing? Ow. The answer seems to be no. This is not looking the best. You know, I've had things look much better. Oh, here we go. All right, I just need like a little bit more. A little more. All right, cool, perfect. All right, so that, almost there. But you lose the bag? That's fine, I don't care about the bag. Dude, I'm not getting it. That seems really hard to do. I couldn't get past 32 scaling. $32 is as far as I could actually make it out of the first level. Yeah, I want to grab it from the other side, but I have to have it on the correct side first, you know? Because it's just not close enough. Unless I already have it right there, you know? Like, does that make sense? Because see? Oh, there we go. I was going to say, it's just not close enough yet, but I just had to get it close enough to do that. So that's a hard setup. It's nothing like doing it as mercenary, but it's good to know, like, how to set it up. I mean, you know, this is useful. If I want to throw dudes off the edge, I'm really slow, and I don't like that. Later, dude. All right, so Rex is really good with Deathmark in particular because Rex has 2 debuffs that you can apply without even having any items. yeah, I can explain how that instant kill works for you. Basically, they have a system in this game where it's much like fall damage, where if an enemy is hit into a wall fast enough, that enemy takes damage proportional to that. So the idea is get the Roboball to hit a wall fast enough that it dies. Oh, jeez. And by positioning it as such and trying to drag it through the wall, like Rex's fourth skill, drags enemies very quickly, very briefly. So by positioning it such that it tries to drag it through a wall, it goes fast enough to do that. I am not dead. So the other most common way to do that is with Mercenary. Mercenary's third skill is the one where you like dash through enemies and stuff. On certain enemies, if you end your dash in a certain part of their hitbox, they just get sent flying so that you don't exist inside their hitbox, basically. And you just do that to the Roboball. It's only really reasonable to do consistently on the Roboball. But it also happens to Greater Wisps, Brass Contraptions. Really hard on Brass Contraptions, though. Like, that's not easy to do. And it's at its hardest to do against Vagrants. Vagrants are, like, possible, but really, really iffy. I don't have a favorite survivor. I like every character besides Artificer. Well, I wouldn't say like, but I play everyone except Artificer, and I like most of them. Hey look, the bag is just here. Maybe the bag really isn't just like allowed to go off the edge. Maybe it gets kicked back in bounds like if you jump off the edge. It's just like a player. What I think is Artificer's problem in general, everything. I don't think there's a single good thing about the character. Except that you don't have to select it. The biggest problem is the primary being charge-based and only getting one charge at a time. Like, I actually like Multi's primary alternate with the grenades because it recharges all four at once. And I think that feels significantly better compared to having one charge at a time. Just one example, though. But I think that Artificer's skill rotation is way too forced, doesn't feel good, and doesn't work that well. It's not, like, super effective. And using the floating passive for very long actually physically hurts me. Like, holding space is really uncomfortable for me. So. Or holding space for that long. Oops. Yeah, no utility skill for movement. I don't like. Primary is actually the worst and least fun thing in the game, in my opinion. And just, there are a million problems, really. The flamethrower feels pretty good, but it feels like a huge disadvantage later in the game. Because, like, you get close to stuff later in the game, you're dead. So it's like, well, you can have a fun first loop with that one skill, and then you either have no fourth skill, or you die. Like, there are two ways to play that, basically. Will I get this kill? Yes, I will. But basically, I just don't think that anything about using Artificer or the skills feels at all okay. So I don't do it. I just don't do it. When I think of the artifacts, I don't like most of them. Or I don't plan to use most of them because they don't seem like good gameplay to me. Like they won't be gameplay that I will personally enjoy. But there are like 5 of them that I think are decent. And like would be fun and add things or change things in interesting ways. That's how I feel. I like Dissonance probably the most. That one seems like it would be the most interesting for replayability. Swarm probably seems fun, but I think it makes the game easier, so it probably isn't fun for too long. Soul is probably, you know, fine. Just a little bit of added kill time, a little bit of extra strategy that you might have to use in your planning for stuff. Sacrifice might be fun just to, you know, mix up your routing and general, like, gameplay loop a little bit. Dissonance is the one where enemies can spawn on any level, like any enemy type. It just shuffles the available enemies for the given level. Hey, movement speed, I like that. So like first level you could have alloy vultures, even though they don't spawn on either first level, for example. Or they probably do spawn on one of them after looping. But anyway, you can have a first level with alloy vultures or brass contraptions or parents. Actually, they only added parents, not children. There are no children in this game at this point in time. Oh, right. Let me just kill it with that. It's below the health range. Excuse me. Right, apparently there is a parent boss in the code for now, the grandparent, so I'm told. Maybe that'll come with the next update. I think that if they added Enforcer, that would be another character that I don't play. Yeah, I have Engineer's alt skin now. I can do an Engineer run next. As long as I remember. I'll try to remember for you, though. I don't have any money. No, I don't plan on playing Valorant. I'm gonna watch it, though. Like, I'll watch the beta tomorrow and see if it looks, like, appealing to me. And if it does, then I guess I may as well try it, right? It's gonna be a free game, so. But I don't think that I'm gonna want to play it, probably. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, you gotta go. Oh, and there I go, but I have a respawn. See, I knew I had to do something about that, and then when I didn't do something about that, I died. It was like I got what I deserved. Like, it's a blazing enemy. You don't mess with a blazing enemy that can do a lot of damage. When you do that, you die. I'm just looking for an environment log, though, since it's the last one. Guess not today, though. Not this run. No, parents were scary in the first game, too. I didn't want to mess with them then. Now that makes me uncomfortable. Can I do this here? No, probably not. I'm gonna try, though. No, there's no way. That's too thick, I think. And they're moving too much. I don't like this. You know what? That's probably more likely to kill me. And this is also like the next most likely to kill. Oh my goodness. My life is looking short at the moment. Oh, I've been hit by a Malachite. Oh, that's, yeah, my life looks very short at the moment. That's alive. Oh my gosh. That's fine. I don't take fall damage. Okay, I'm gonna throw you off as well, because I want to be able to see. Scariest thing is that one right now, but I mean that one can kill me too. And, you know, everyone can pretty much murder me probably as quickly as they feel is necessary. Next time I go invisible, I think I go for it. Oh wait, but there are 2 items there, not just one. All right, we're taking this nice and slow then. A nice length for a run is as long as you feel like playing. Like, I don't particularly like looping like for a long time most of the time. Like, I don't really want to do a 3-hour run very often. That gets boring really fast for me. Okay, that one's dead too. Oh no. Wait, that wasn't the... It was. Alright, we've slowly cleaned up. So on most of my runs, I obliterate first time I get to the obliteration map. Like, first loop. 3rd level, I'm done. Usually. That's the most fun for me. But I mean, maybe you like getting really, really ridiculously overpowered every run, and you want to do a 3-hour run as your average, or maybe you're, like, your average gaming session is 2 hours and you only want to do 1 run in that. That's cool too. What about instead of just like something as simple as an artifact that hides like health bars and costs, why not just no HUD? Because no HUD is the setting? Well, that's fair. Then why not just play that way if you want that artifact? Like, if you want an artifact that's partially no HUD, why not just play no HUD? Randomizes your HUD? Probably not. I probably wouldn't be into that. I assume it means certain elements of your HUD are there. Like, maybe you get to see what items you have, but not how much money you have. Maybe you get to see your teammates and your stage and timer, but you don't get to see anything else. Like, maybe stuff like that is what I assume it means by what randomizes your HUD would mean. Do I like the Vengeance artifact? I don't think so, but I haven't really played with the artifacts much at all. Because what interested me was mostly unlocking the artifacts and, like, you know, the hunt for the codes and stuff. Actually using the artifacts is not really much of a... Yeah, I kind of expected that. Using them is not something that actually was really ever on the radar for me. I'll only use a few of them, and Vengeance wasn't one of them. Another one. Okay. Alright, well, I guess I gotta make this run count. You know, that makes me a little uneasy. I'm gonna go up here. See ya. Oh, this is terrible. Actually, my damage is pretty good, though. So this shouldn't be that much of a problem. I had a Dio. Now I have one active and one used Dio. I win this. Oh, that one didn't die. That's fine. Okay, I want to grab the cooldown while it's safe here. The tougher times, soft caps. It's not a hard cap. Like, you can technically always gain benefit by getting another one. But it takes a lot to get, you know, 90% or anything like that. And you'll never reach 100%. Unless, of course, the game reaches a point where it's a rounding error. Where it decides that finally there are enough decimal points that it's just going to round up. But no. Like, you never reach 100% or anything. Oh, that was, yep, kind of scary. All right, I'm going for this while I'm invisible. Oh, no, don't like that. You're going in there. Okay. What? I launched it over. That's actually hilarious. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Like, I mean, that sucks because I didn't kill it, but that's real funny. I ain't even mad. Okay, you... Yeah, okay, this time I'll get it for sure. That's not nice. Alright, one, maybe two items lost. That's not so bad. I think there's only one. Pretty good. Oh yeah, I just got my first infusion, you're right. That's pretty funny. Yeah, 5 tougher times is pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good amount of... Well, pretty good chance not to take damage. Like, if you've ever done the void fields and, you know, you saw that the enemies got tougher times, it's 5. They get 5 of them. And you notice that you get a lot of squeaky hits on them. So 5 is pretty good. You can push them, by the way, which is amazing. Oh. So I kind of want to make an example of this here, Dune Strider. You know, just come on over. What are you doing down there, friend? Well, let's see if we get Dune Striders for the boss. Yeah, but not in a good spot. Yeah, yep, Where's the Malachite near me? Invisible, naturally. Oh, they're just gonna, like, die. I don't really even need to push them except on principle. Alright, looking good. Excuse me. Go away. I could have killed it more effectively. Oops. Get me out of here. One-shot protection to enemies would be so unfortunate. Oh. Alright. I win this round. Oh, you're here. You can push them off the edge too, I believe. That's not what you need to stack. Oh, I missed. Okay, this is a joke. I'm just gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna see maybe it's still hanging out there. If not, it will fall off and die. No, I'm just doing it for fun. I actually think that pushing stuff off the edge with Rex is one of the most fun ways to play this video game. And also, a lot of these enemies, okay, I was gonna say, if it lands on the other side, a lot of these enemies have a lot of health and would take a comparable amount of time to kill anyway, so. What's more satisfying than that? Dang. Well, I gotta go. I'm suddenly the target of a lot of machine guns. Oops. I did that to myself by not being grounded. That's going off. Perfect. There it is. The item I've been waiting for. Have I tried getting the artifacts? I have all of them. That's a good printer right there. Yeah, okay. You get a, oh, ow. I'll recover. Oh yes, the interstellar desk plan is just like another Rex. Found my kin. I hope I get a boss that I can throw off the edge. That's my idea of a good time. It would be pretty nice if the desk plants also launched mortars, I agree. Nope, 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 nope. I see why, like, as far as how unique the effect is, desk plant is red. Like, that's why it's red, I think. Just because of the unique effect, not because of the, like, amazingness. Oh, yeah, you're going away. Bye. But just in case you don't know, it does draw aggro. Like, enemies will attack it instead of attacking you. So it is a slightly more useful item than a lot of people's impression. Few things reach the level of satisfaction of throwing an entire boss off of the edge. Everything is Celestine, and this is ridiculous. You're too far from an edge. Or are you? Yeah, you know what? Oh, geez. Don't do me like that. Where is the one? I guess everyone's gonna die now. I was gonna leave in peace. But now this one has ruined it for everyone. Oh man, Wicked Ring. I can't imagine that they'll bring Wicked Ring back, but what an item Wicked Ring was. Like, it enabled such silly builds. I mean, of course, you can already do All Glaive Huntress now, but All Glaive Huntress in the first game was, like, nuts.